Welcome back, everybody, to Maryland's Business Friday Hour,
It's part two.
Part 2.
Two.
Yes.
Um, I'm a little, I'm a little perturbed. She sent me home.
I can see
She sent me home so we can make a. This is now the uniform of the show. All we need now is name tags so he can tell us apart. I've never been so. I'm a man of great humility. I'm a man of great humility. I've never been more humiliated in my life.
Lord.
No, this is very. Yeah, I think you wear it better than I do, though. Welcome to the Jimmy Buffett hour. Cheeseburger in paradise. Oh man, I'm kind of used to wearing costumes, Mary. Oh, I'm Kaye Lazar, by the way. Oh, I think this is our 97th show. I think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
So we're counting them down. Once we do 100, then I'm retired. No, I'm not retiring. I'm going to do 1,000 more.
Yeah.
Um, in fact, I've been listening to a lot of good podcasts lately. There's a new one called Fun for All Ages,
Uh,
and the guy, I forget his name, Frank Santa Pietro or whatever his name is. He was the partner of Gilbert Gottfried, who did a podcast, but sadly Gilbert's not doing it anymore. So I guess he took a year or two off, and now he's back doing it by himself. But the show is kind of the same, and they're talking all about favorite cereals, just like stuff we like to talk about. Their favorite cereals when they were kids, and their favorite favorite amusement parks and everything. So favorite TV shows, of course, they did a whole hour about FCTV. That was so good. So so I've been listening to that. I've been listening to Bill Maher, his podcast. He had, I think, Woody Allen on it, and he had last week he had Barbara Eden on the week before. She looks great. She's 90 something years old, and she looked great.
yeah.
I mean, she looked almost like she did in the good old days as Jeannie.
Yeah.
Also, I've been watching. This is all podcast. And actually, I say I watch these things, but I don't really watch. I just play them, and then I, putter around the house,
Yeah.
or listen to them while I'm driving in the car. But my favorite podcast is the one you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one and anyone I appear on, I like. They're my favorites. Let's see. So, do you have any plays coming up?
Oh my God.
Oh, you actually have quite a few plays. We talk about them all the time.
Yeah, I got Charlie Brown Christmas coming up in December,
Charlie Brown Christmas. Okay.
and Anna Green Gables
Yeah.
the week after that.
Wait, Charlie Brown Christmas is I keep thinking it's a good man, Charlie Brown, and I saw you in that.
Yeah, I was in that about 6 years ago.
And who did you play in that one?
I played Woodstock.
Yes, and you did that dance. That was so good.
Yeah.
Because Woodstock is always like flittering around, and
Yeah.
you went and you did a good dance at Woodstock.
Yeah.
Did you wear like feathers and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have to admit, I was kind of was bored with Woodstock, but I saw a new interest in Woodstock by your performance. I saw something in Woodstock I never saw before, which was good. And um, Snoopy doesn't. He talks in the newspaper, but he doesn't talk on the shows, on the cartoon shows. So I tend to like my comedians
Yeah.
verbose. I like Groucho Marx, of course, and that type of thing. Anyone who tells jokes or anyone who speaks. What was the other one?
Anna Green
Anna
Gables.
Green Gables. I'm hoping to get into that one. There's still a chance that I might get in that one.
Yeah, I'll be playing Jane in that one.
You'll be
So.
playing Jane, okay?
And then I'll be
Jane from the Jetsons, the wife
No.
of the Jane Eyre.
Yeah.
Jane
In the Charlie Brown
Jane
Christmas, I'll
Austen
be playing a woman in the Nativity.
in the Nativity.
Yeah.
I thought it took place I didn't know it took place during Bible times.
No.
The Nativity. So you're in a Charlie Brown Christmas,
Yeah.
and you know who you play in that one?
The moment of the nativity.
Now it makes sense because I remember the cartoon and it has Linus giving the speech, the lovely speech,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
people dancing to the
yeah,
and yeah, that's I gotta tell you something. I don't know if you know this about Charlie Brown Christmas, but it was came out in like 1965 or 66 or something,
yeah,
and the guys who made it, they had never there was never really any animation of the Peanuts before that. They were like little bits, little commercials or every once in a while. But they and Peanuts is what it's called. It's kind of sophisticated for kids. It's not, they like Snoopy and Woodstock, but all that, good grief, I wish I was, I wish I was dead. I want to play ball, that type of thing.
yeah,
And the craziest thing is that when they made the Charlie Brown Christmas, it had a lot of those elements in it, but then at the end, it's kind of uplifting, and they make the ugly looking tree look beautiful.
yeah,
Okay, so Lee Melendez was the guy who produced it, and he brought it to CBS, and they had this jazz score by Vince Guaraldi.
yeah.
Christmas time is
I
here.
had that record too.
Okay, I'll tell you about that record in a moment. And they said, we like the cartoon, but get rid of that awful music that's in it. And the producer says, no, this music is perfect for this cartoon. The kids are going to hate it. The people are going to hate it. And it may be the best music ever in a cartoon, as years have shown. And there are people who hate jazz music, and like you said, you own that album. A lot of people have that album because they don't think of it as a jazz album. They think of it as a wonderful music that goes with that cartoon so well.
Yeah,
But the first thing they see, and then years later, CBS, who showed it under duress that they had to put that awful music on it, made. We are very proud of Vince Guaraldi's score on, on the Charlie Brown Christmas. He goes, and the producer says, "Yeah, really? You told us to get rid of it, and now you're saying you're proud of it, and you were always behind it." Vince Guaraldi had a few hits, some pop hits. I mean, they all have a similar sound, but they're before that show. But I mean, that just made him a big jazz legend, actually.
yeah,
A Charlie Brown Christmas, and in fact, there's even some tribute albums using that music with popular jazz people playing their versions of it, but it's not
yeah.
as good as the original version. I still like listening. I have that LP myself, and I still like listening to those songs, to that music. Christmas time
Yeah,
is
you
here.
see,
Yeah.
happiness and cheer, one to all the children call, the favorite time of year.
Very good, very good. You should be singing. I guess you'll be singing that in the chorus come the show. Now, Anna Green Gables, yes, I was in a version of that before, but I was told it's the same but different.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Anyway, I'm going to go painting now. I'm going to if I get paint on this shirt, it won't matter. It'll just blend into the patina. Let's see. So yeah. So I've been watching all of that, and I saw a lot of movies last week. I saw a new film with Bob Odenkirk called Nobody. I saw Highest to Lowest with Denzel Washington. I saw. I'm gonna be finished in a moment. And I saw Honey Don't by one of the Coen brothers, Ethan Coen, and I saw Relay. All these are spy thrillers and action films and art house movies. I probably never saw more good movies in one week. And I'm not going to bore you with. I just suggest you go see them. So they're really good. I was telling Mary and I like to go to musicals. They're like our favorites.
Yes.
And I think next week, new Hamilton movie comes out,
Oh,
so
wow,
that should be
yeah.
good. Yeah. And then I think Wicked comes out later in the year, and Kiss the Spider Woman with Jennifer Lopez. I think Evan Kander, who made Cabaret in Chicago, or did the music for this one. So I mean, it's been around a while. It's based on the movie I saw with William Hurt. That was so good, about a Brazilian prison. But how they make that into a musical. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Though if I go to Broadway, I can see it anyway when it play. I think Cheetah Rivera was in the original version. What else can I tell you?
Was it Raul Julia in the Kiss the Spider Woman too?
That's right. Raul Julia was in the. He was the political prisoner, while William Hurt was the just the gay the gay silly prisoner. But at the end, it has a very telling ending. That brings it all to a great fruition. But it's a musical, so I'm looking forward to seeing
Me
that.
too,
I,
yeah.
I look forward to. You If you want to live a good, happy life, you know how you do it?
How?
Always have something to look forward
Yes,
to.
that's right.
You
Yep.
know, sadly, I talk to people that are depressed, and some people I know that have near suicide and stuff, and I said, why? And they say, because I have nothing left to look forward to, especially people that are sick. I mean, physically sick, and so always have a trip planned, always have a show to go to, always have I wake up every morning happy, happy and gay,
Yep.
but straight. Anyway, so anyway, let me tell you about these. Well, let's talk about. Let's see,
Gloria Estefan.
Gloria Estefan.
She's really good.
Yeah, this album.
I have an album of her at home. Conga
Yeah,
was going to let her loose,
yeah,
and the rhythm was going to get you's on it.
conga.
Yeah, I don't think Conga's on there.
Yeah. Um, Let me tell you about Gloria Estefan. I saw her when she came to Richmond. Her band was called in those days the Miami Sound Machine.
Yeah.
And I think her husband was the director. I think her husband's. I don't think the band has changed any. They just now call it the Gloria Estefan Band, the Gloria Estefan Orchestra. But it was called the Miami Sound Machine, and she became the breakout star. She I remember she was in a bad car accident or something,
Yeah, yeah.
broke her back. But
In the early
yeah,
90s.
she bounced back pretty well. I found out though, I like her singing, and I have quite a few of her things, but as far as her hits go, the only one I really like is Conga.
I like that song called Bad Boy, Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Boys will be boys.
When I heard Conga for the first time, I don't know. This shows you my musical taste. If I liked it because it didn't sound like a rock and roll song. It sounded like a conga song.
Yeah.
And you never heard that on the radio so much. So when it came up on the radio, having to sit through like all these boring songs. Oh, conga, hey, blah, blah, do that conga, don't you make? Yeah. So and I just love that song. And I think that was one of her big hits when I saw her. I mean, it was like she had probably maybe two albums at that point. So she was singing most of the songs. And at one point, she came out and she goes, "Oh, baby, do that conga." What? Stop it! We're gonna sing this at the end. Me and everyone's gonna leave if she sang it right now. Of course, at the end, she sang something like a 15-minute version of it, and there was dancing and everybody loves
Oh,
conga.
no,
Yeah,
to go and see her.
yeah. Well, when I saw her, I think I told you it was a basketball game. You got to see a Virginia Commonwealth University basketball game, and then and they play on a basketball court, and then they put the boards down after the game was over. There's maybe an hour between, but you could sit in your seats and wait for the Miami Sound Machine to come out, and then they put all the chairs up, and then they let the people that were sitting at the bar. I wasn't sitting I was sitting up in the cheap seats, but it was a good show. Yeah, Miami Sound Machine. What was weird was I was just a kid. I must have been like 19 years old, and I was she was like 35 at the time, And I thought, and she was trying to act sexy and everything. And for some reason, I felt a 35-year-old woman shouldn't be acting sexy. I'm 19 years old. I don't have any. I have about 3 or 4 brain cells at that age. Now I look at a 35-year-old woman. I go, oh, look how sexy she is. Look at a 65-year-old woman. She looks sexy. I got to tell you, uh, I went to a restaurant recently, and I got the seniors discount. And you know how I got the seniors discount?
How?
Went to the youngest person at the Long John Silver, and I don't know how old you had to be, but I think to like a 16-year-old, a 35-year-old is really old. I should have been getting the seniors discount when I was 35. But no, but Gloria Estefan's good. She's been a good wife and mother and everything. She's been married a long time.
She has a son my age, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and she's still sexy. All right, so that's cool. Oh, look, I didn't even tell you what this album is. It's all it's none of her like hits. It's all like Gershwin type song. A lot of people were recording albums like this, and it has "I've grown accustomed to his face, her face. What a difference a day makes. What a wonderful world" is on there. A lot of
What
other
a
songs on.
difference a day makes. Na, 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 na.
"You Made Me Love You" is on there. "The Way You Look Tonight."
Oh, I
"Young at
like that
Heart."
one.
Yeah, all nice song. "Good Morning Heartache." She's trying for, I think, a Billie Holiday vibe in this album.
Good
So it's good.
morning, heartache.
Yeah. You know why hummingbirds hum?
Why?
They don't know the words. Maury Amsterdam joke. I heard that on the Dick Van Dyke Show. This okay. I told you about the Charlie Brown album that nobody likes jazz. Well, this is an album for people who don't like bluegrass music.
Oh, I love that one. That's a really good. That's a really good soundtrack.
This one, like, it was funny when this won, I think, best country album or best bluegrass album at the Grammy Awards. Like something like 20 or 30 people came up to get you because each contributed a song to it, and people love the movie. I was talking about the Coen Brothers earlier. This is one of their best ones. "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" And a lot of the songs are famous songs. I know "In the Jailhouse Now" is on there. It takes place in the 1930s. It's a new version. It was a remake of the Odyssey from the Greek tragedy. And now there's a new movie coming out next year, The Odyssey by Christopher Nolan. But this is the Coen Brothers version of it. George Clooney is in it, and John Turturro's in it. And there's a lot of people with good parts in it, like John Goodman and Charles Durning and Holly Hunter is in it. Yeah, and it's a fantasy about these 3 convicts who escape from a chain gang and the adventures they go through. The sirens, the Cyclops, but they in a 1930s Delta blues type of way. The songs. What was the big hit? I am a I am a man of constant sorrow. And in the movie, George Clooney sings it, but George Clooney is dubbed.
Yeah.
And what's really funny is the guy, I think his name was Ralph Stanley, he's since gone, but he dubbed the voice. And when I saw him he was at the folk festival one year, he said, "And now here he is, the man who sings exactly like George Clooney sings." Everyone laughed because everyone knew that the voice here is the voice of George Clooney, Ralph Stanley. And "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" Have you ever seen the movie?
I saw parts of it, I think.
Yeah, they show it on TV a lot. They show it on the Independent Channel a lot,
Oh,
the
well,
Criterion Channel a lot.
when I was going to the mountains a few weeks
Yeah.
ago, there was a lady that I know. She was playing that in her car, and we
Yeah.
listened to it in the car. It's really beautiful.
Oh yeah, yeah. And what's weird is this is an album. People who don't like country music, they sometimes have this album. So These are good, like, breakthrough type albums I'm telling you about because they make you want to hear music. You know, I remember when the Blues Brothers were big. Um, they said, they don't sing as well as the people who recorded these original hits in the 1960s. And I think Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi says, yes, we don't. But we're hoping maybe you'll go to the originals and listen to their versions.
Yeah.
We're just bringing them to the people. So there you go. So that's "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
Yeah.
And this, I'm not so much talking about the movie. I'm talking about
I
the
totally recommend the
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack. And I think it won. It's a very highly acclaimed album.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
recommend it.
Yes,
So
there
if
you go.
anybody wants to listen,
You heard her.
yeah, it's really good.
She got her voice, her stamp of approval,
Hmm.
the Mary stamp of approval. Okay. This is Peter and the Wolf. That's not Peter and the Wolf. But this guy sings. He doesn't sing. He narrates Peter and the Wolf. I don't know who does this. The Prague Festival Orchestra, but it's narrated by Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, I saw that play when I was in preschool.
Yes, it's about 35 minutes long. A lot of you see it, and they play the music and the wolf and the Peter and the swan, and it's very interesting music. Prokofiev wrote it, Sergei Prokofiev, and it's narrated. Usually they get a celebrity like Jack Lemmon or somebody. There's even a version with the Meathead, Rob Reiner, doing it, and it's for children. There's a Disney version, a cartoon version of it that's about 20 minutes long, and it's very scary. I saw it when I was a kid, and I was very scared of that wolf, and it's just a cartoon. And the music, dun, 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 dun. Now, what's kind of interesting is that there's the wolf, and there's the three woodsmen, and then there's I mean they all I'm just counting off the characters in it, the loon, and they all have their own theme,
Oh,
and you don't even need the narration to kind of follow it, just the music. But usually it has narrations, you can know what's going on. It's called in opera, it's called a leitmotif, when the villain comes out and they play this. I'll give you a good example. When in the Star Wars movies, when Darth Vader comes out, they always play the same theme. Dun 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 dun. Dun. They don't play that when he's not around. They play other stuff. But when you hear that music on the soundtrack, well, the same Peter and the Wolf, almost kind of. I wouldn't say it invented. I think it's been around. I think no, all operas have had it, so it's probably been around for hundreds of years. Uh, but Peter and the Wolf really hit it home. The themes and everything. Usually, you listen to Peter and the Wolf in one, because it's only about a half hour long. Listen to it in one fell swoop and everything. Oh, by the way, Jack Lemmon is the narrator of this, and Jack Lemmon, was a very good pianist, jazz pianist, and you see him in a lot of movies.
he's a good actor too.
Good actor, won 2 Oscars, and I began my career with Jack Lemmon. I was in The Murder of Mary Fagan, and there's a picture of me with him on the internet. I was in the jury, and he was the governor of
He's been on
Georgia.
Grumpy Old Men.
He's in Grumpy Old Men. He's in The Odd Couple. He's in a lot. He's in Save the Tiger and Ensign Pulver. He won 2 Oscars. Jack Lemmon was. I mean, but Jack Lemmon is very good in on the stage, and he's from Boston. He's been dead for about 10 years. I got to tell you something awful about Jack Lemmon. When I saw him, every time I saw him, he was always puffing away on a cigar or a cigarette. And and then he died of lung cancer. We might still have him. He'd be 100 years old now, but we could have had him an extra 20 years had he not kind of put away the. They weren't cigars. They were like Tipperillos.
Yeah.
And when he was in Richmond, he's one of the big stars of his day, and he played at the country club a lot at golf, because he was evidently at golf, just loved playing golf, and he would play golf. He was very nice when I met him. I met him a couple of times during the making of that film, but Jack, the Murder of Mary Fagan, you can see me in the jury and see a younger version of me, and a living version. of Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon was always one of my favorite actors. He of course all those movies with Walter Matthau, Grumpy Old Men, The Odd Couple. There's one I saw as a kid that I thought was so funny called The Front Page, which is a he's in the apartment. I mean, he's even in that crazy movie about the Kennedy assassination, JFK. Oliver Stone film. He has a small part in that. So that's Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon. I got one more thing to show you. You ever heard of Larry Adler?
I have not.
Okay, now you see what he's playing? He's playing a harmonica.
Yep, harmonica.
And he was a blacklisted musician. He used to be one of the most famous musicians in the 1930s and 40s. And then when the 1950s came and the blacklist, he was from Baltimore. He went to England and spent pretty much through the 1990s living in England. And he was a good friend of all the people wrote. He was like the greatest. Let's face it. He's probably the most. I don't know if he's the greatest, but he was certainly the most famous harmonica player of all time. And Gershwin. Well, I think a lot of people wrote music for him. Darius Milhaud and I think Stravinsky, and there's actually like pieces for harmonica that he played. I think this album he just plays, Gershwin songs. And he was a friend of George Gershwin, and he could play Rhapsody in Blue on a harmonica, the whole 15, 20 minutes of it. And according, I don't know, Gershwin didn't live very long.
Rhapsody in Blues on here.
Is Rhapsody in Blues on it? What's kind of neat about Larry Adler is that he
It's the very first song.
it's very first he claimed that his version of Rhapsody in Blue was George Gershwin's favorite version. I don't know if that's true, but he did an album in the 1990s. Not this one. This is more like his old stuff from the 30s. He did it with all these popular singers like Elton John and Carly Simon and Aaron Neville, and they're all singing Gershwin songs. I think it's called The Glory of Gershwin or something with Larry Adler, and he plays the harmonica on every single one of them. And then at the end, George Martin produced it, and George Martin, of course, from the Beatles, and produced almost all the Beatles albums. The George Martin Orchestra plays Rhapsody in Blue, and you get to hear Larry Adler, and he's probably 80 years old at this point, or in his 80s, playing the whole thing on the harmonica. Larry Adler, he's written books, his life story about being blacklisted, all the celebrities he knew, all the people he knew. So he's a good guy to look up, Larry Adler. And he was also sadly, dismissed as a communist, like a lot of people were during the 1950s, and thus he had to hightail it to, if he wanted to keep working, go to another country, and that's what he went to England. So that's Larry Adler. You might find him in a couple of old movies, musicals on TCM and stuff. You'll see he always have a scene where he plays the harmonica by himself with an orchestra or something. So that's Larry Adler. So in fact, I got one last thing to tell you. I met Carly Simon. There's a picture of me on the internet, and she was signing autographs for her album. For her album, I didn't want to. Every Carly Simon album, I like Carly Simon, but they're not all that different from each other. So I knew she was on this Larry Adler album where she sings, "I Think I Got a Crush on You," was the song, "Sweetie Pie." So anyway, I said I knew she would sign this, so I bought it at Tower Records in New York. I mean, I'm in the line for like 2 hours waiting to meet Carly Simon, get my picture taken when she signs it, and she saw the booklet, and she was so excited. She signed the picture of herself in the booklet, and she says, I recorded this like 2 years ago, and I did not even know this was out. So I said, yeah, I hadn't heard it myself, but I said, oh, it's a good album. It's a very good album. I speak on behalf of the popular music public. It's a very good album, and it's good that you were part of it. Yeah. So that's we can talk about Carly Simon some other time. But Larry Adler's, and thanks for letting me talk about Larry Adler. And what does September is a good month, isn't it?
Yeah, because next week I'll be going out of town to Boston and Philadelphia.
Oh wow! Well, you got to tell us about that when you get back.
Yeah.
And also I will. You know what I'll be doing in September?
What?
I'll be I'm pretty sure I'll be announcing the state fair again.
I
So
can't wait to go to the
so
fair.
I always take all my friends to the state. Mr. Big Shot. For 1 week, I get to be a big shot and give people free tickets to go to the state fair. So I look forward to seeing you there. And but that's probably near the end of the month. So, Mary, Mary, not so contrary. How does your garden grow? No, Mary, thank you for having me on your show again.
Absolutely.
You're my favorite host.
Yeah.
Of all the shows I do, this is one of them.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And I love you all so much. May God bless you. Take care.
This is the Mary Elizabeth Jones Variety Hour. I forgot the name. And I'm Kaye Lazar. And Mary, again, thank you. And we counting it down to 100 without going over. So there you go.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in. May God